Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Today's lesson we're going to be talking about section 6.2, day 1, matrix multiplication. And with matrix multiplication you do need to be careful because it's easy to get mixed up. So in order to multiply matrices, the number of columns in the first matrix must equal the number of rows in the second. Alright, so let's start off with 3 matrices. Matrix A is going to be 4, 5, 1, 9, negative 6, negative 3. So remember, this is a 3 by, we have 3 rows by 2 columns. Matrix B, let's have it be 7, 0, 1, 2, 6, 8. So this has 2 rows, so it's a 2 by 3, because 3 columns. And let's have one more, and we're just going to use each of these matrices for all of the examples today. Let's just have it be 7, negative 5. So this is a 2 by 1, 2 rows, 1 column. Okay, so for the first example, I would like us to do A times B if possible. So first things first, I would write out your matrices. So matrix A has to go first. 4, 5, 1, 9, negative 6, negative 3. And then we're going to multiply that by B, which is 7, 0, 1, 2, 6, 8. Now, remember, the number of columns in the first needs to match the number of rows in the second. So this is a 3 by 2. And the next one is a 2 by 3. So we need to check, do the number of rows in the first match the number of columns in the second, or sorry, columns in the first match the number of rows in the second, and it does. So this is why it's important. The way we multiply is we are going to take this first row and we're going to multiply it by the first column and add. So what I mean by that, no, it sounds a little confusing, is we're going to do 4 times 7 plus 5 times 2. And that's going to be the first element. Now for the same column, but going down a row, we're going to do something similar, but using the second row. So 1, 9, but we're going to multiply it by 7, 2, and add. So that's going to be 1 times 7 plus 9 times 2. And then for the last one, negative 6 times 3 Sorry, we're going to do it in this thing again. So -6 times 7 plus -3 times 2. And that's going to give us our first column in our new matrix. So now for the next column, same pattern. So we're going to do 4 times, and now we're using this column. So 4 times 0 plus 5 times 6. 1 times 0, here, here, plus 9 times 6. -6 times 0 plus, I'm just doing -3, so minus. And then the last column, so 4 times 1 plus 5 times 8. 1 times 1 plus 9 times 8. -6 times 1 minus 3 times 8. And then notice we're going to end up with a 3 by 3. And now we simplify. So if you want to show extra line of work, this is going to be 28 plus 10, 7 plus 18, -42 minus 6. Then we've got 0 plus 30, 0 plus 54, 0 minus, is that right? This should have been a 6. Minus 18. Okay. And then 4 plus 40, 1 plus 72, and -6 minus 24. And then we simplify. So our final matrix is going to be 38, 30, 44, 25, 54, 73, -48, -18, -30. And we are done. So why don't you guys, using the same matrices, try to do B times A. So pause the video and try to do this on your own. Alright, so hopefully you started by setting up your matrices. So B is 7, 0, 1, 2, 6, 8. And we're multiplying that by 4, 5, 1, 9, -6, -3. So this is a 2 by 3, and this is a 3 by 2, and we need these to match. Since they do, we can now multiply. So remember, for that first thing up here, we're going to take 701 and then multiply and add to that column. So 7 times 4 plus 0 times 1 plus 1 times -6. And then, oops. Next, you can even do the next one. So this times the next one. So 7 times 5 plus 0 times 9 plus 1 times -3. For a second row, it's going to be 2 times 4 plus 6 times 1 plus 8 times -6. And then 2 times 5 plus 6 times 9 plus 8 times -3. And then we simplify. So 28 plus 0 minus 6 is 22. 35 plus 0 minus 3, 32. 8 plus 6 minus 48, negative 34. And 10 plus 54 minus 24. So hopefully you ended up with this 2x2 matrix. And that is it. Remember, your final answer will be the remaining dimensions. So why don't we try one more? Try to do A times C on your own. So pause the video, set up your matrices, see if you can do it. So set up matrix A is 4, 5, 1, 9, negative 6, negative 3. And matrix C, 7, negative 5. So I like to, in case you hadn't noticed, I like to write down the dimensions, and then circling here, I find it helpful, so these match columns in the first, rows in the second. So we should end up with a 3x1 in the end. So now we're gonna get started. So for that first element, remember it's 4, 5, 7, 5, and this one's actually a little bit easier. So 4 times 7 plus 5 times negative 5. And then we just go down from there. So 1 times 7 plus 9 times negative 5. Negative 6 times 7 plus negative 3 times negative 5. So 28 minus 25, 7 minus 45, negative 42 plus 15. And we are done. So that's it. Just making sure that you multiply the right way and follow that pattern of row times column. All right, so don't forget about flex time this week if you have any questions, and work on your homework.